In 2022, I used quite a bit of devices and a lot of them I actually really like, but today's video is about which phone I think is the best in 2022. And again, I use quite a bit of phones, but I will have to say straight from the get-go, my favorite phone, without question, when it comes to photography, when it comes to overall use, has been, really no surprise to anyone, the Vivo X80 Pro. This device is really good. I love what I can do with photography, of course, and just overall the feel of the phone is amazing as well, with a really nice back texture. Overall design, sure, can use some tweaks, but I will have to say that this has been an amazing phone. Is it perfect? No, it could use a 3.5mm headphone jack and micro SD, and of course the periscope is a little bit lower in resolution compared to some others. But overall, I will have to say that the Vivo X80 Pro has been really good. And for me, that makes the Vivo X80 Pro, without a doubt, my favorite phone of 2022. Now there is a second runner-up. This one is a little bit surprising because it came late in 2022, but I really like it. Yes, again, there are parts where I feel like it could have done better, especially when it comes to size. But I will have to say that the iQOO 11 has been a good phone overall. In terms of temperatures and heating up and so on, because of that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, it definitely is performing better than some other phones that I've used. But what I also really like about the iQOO 11 is the back texture. This is the first phone that I have not put a case on at all. Simply because of that back texture, making it feel so good in the hand, where I feel like it's a shame to use this with a case. I know, living on the edge, right? But overall, I will have to say that I truly like it. And then we go to a phone that is overlooked. The most overlooked phone of all. Which I think should not be overlooked. Because this phone is actually quite excellent. Sure, again, it's not perfect and it has its issues. But yeah, the OnePlus 10 Pro. This has been a really good phone. I'm using it again because it had the Android 13 update and I want to see how it is. But again, using it, I will have to say that this phone is excellent in day-to-day life. It has been amazing to use and therefore I would say that you shouldn't overlook a OnePlus 10 Pro. Especially with good software overall and good experience in day-to-day life. I think OnePlus has done an excellent job, especially for the price that you are paying for it. This has been an excellent phone. And of course, who could forget the amazing Xiaomi 12X? I think till this day, this is one of my favorite smaller phones. The Xiaomi 12X, next to having that really compact design compared to a lot of other phones, also has battery life to go with it. Yes, it's smaller, but battery life has been amazing. The Xiaomi 12X, without a doubt, is also a phone that you shouldn't look over. The only thing I would say goes against it is possibly the software updates. That hasn't been amazing, but who knows, it might be better in the future. But for 2022, definitely a phone that you should keep on your shortlist. Then I want to go a little bit lower in price. Even though the OnePlus 10 Pro is quite a bit lower compared to some other phones around it. It's not a flagship, it's like a lower high-end flagship, if that makes sense. It's like you have the segment where it's just not the price of a flagship, but still has features of a flagship. Either way, I want to go a little bit lower and talk about my favorite, somewhat mid-range phone. It's going to be the OnePlus Nord CE2 5G. It's not because of the naming, because the naming scheme is just terrible. But the OnePlus Nord CE2 5G has been a good phone overall. It of course has the 3.5mm headphone jack that I truly like, but the overall experience again has been excellent for me. When you go for a mid-range phone, I think you cannot expect it to be the best, of course, because simply put, it isn't, you're paying lower. But for the OnePlus Nord CE2 5G, it delivers a lot for your day-to-day life experience. And overall the cameras are fine, especially the main camera works well enough. I don't think that the ultra wide is great, and I definitely don't like what they've done there with that really tiny small sensor. That makes no sense. But I will have to say that the OnePlus Nord CE2 5G overall has been a good experience with a great display and of course pretty good battery life as well, and software experience that I also enjoy. One thing that I will also say in terms of software experience, the best brand for me still is Motorola. Yes, this is the Motorola G200. I know a lot of people don't review Motorola, But when it comes to their devices, I actually really like them, especially because of their software experience. Having to shake your phone to turn on the light itself, the flashlight, is one of those features where I'm like, yeah, why doesn't any other brand do that? It makes a lot of sense. And of course, shaking it like that turns the camera on. Doing it again flips the camera. Stuff like that makes the experience on the Motorola device really solid for me. While the Motorola G200 I don't think is as good as it was with the G100, where it offered of course the micro SD and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Both sadly a miss with the Motorola G200. I will have to say that overall the device has still been good, and battery life has been great as well when it comes to Motorola. Now when it comes to an entry phone or a budget phone, straight away I will have to say that the Poco X4 Pro has been one of those devices where I feel comfortable to tell you that that is a good device to get for the price itself. Especially when it comes to the display, it's an excellent display for the price, and overall that's definitely my favorite when it comes to an entry phone. Either way, those were my picks for phones that I truly enjoyed in 2022. And yes, there are definitely other phones that I really liked. For instance, the Xiaomi 12 Pro has been excellent as well. The Xiaomi 12T Pro has been great as well, depending on what your needs are. And of course the OnePlus 10T. But for me, these devices just stand out a little bit more than those. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and so on. And hopefully in 2023 I will test out more devices so I can give you a wider range of devices that I've used and which one I prefer at the end of those amount of devices. And I'm very curious to see what the Vivo X90 Pro Plus is like, and the Xiaomi 13 Pro. Either way, hope you enjoyed this video and talk to you guys in the next.